Welcome everybody to the Invacus Digital Media Content Kitchen. My name is Chef Jeff Bell, and today we're going to be going through the GreenVAC pan systems designed specifically more for catering type functions, hotels, country clubs of that manner, and how these pans, they're not just hotel pans, they are GreenVAC multi-purpose pans, and how they can help you and your business be more efficient and more effective. So first, let's just talk, well, I guess before I get there, I do want to give a thanks to Cheryl Hodges from Merck Group for letting us borrow a Cambro unit to show you some of the ways for transport functions. So thank you to them. And then a thanks to Brad behind the scenes, making all the magic work so you guys can see this. So with that said, let's jump into what is the GreenVAC system and why is it so special? So the GreenVAC pans are specifically designed to be able to be vacuumed. Now, these pans are made of 18 gauge steel, so they are incredibly thick compared to your traditional hotel pan. Normal hotel pan, put under pressure, is just going to collapse on itself. It doesn't have the strength of steel. So it comes in full size, and the half hotels come in both 6-inch and 4-inch, and you can see the difference here on size. And then when you jump down to your third pan and or your 6 pan, those come in a 6-inch only. Additionally, you can either use a hose connection that goes to any of the Henkelman units, which will show how easy that is to do, or on some of the larger units, such as the Polar that you'll see here in a minute, you can actually put whole pans in, and it will actually pull all the air and vacuum those out as well. So another thing to mention, all of our lids are rated up to 195 degrees. So that means they're dishwasher safe. So you don't have to worry about hand washing them, any of that kind of stuff. And they're very, very easy to pull the gaskets off. Simple as pulling it off, putting them into your rack washer, whatever type of system you have, running it through, and you're good. And obviously the hotel pans, you can cook in them just the same as storing in. You obviously just would not want to use the lids in an oven unless you were doing low temp cooking, which we have done at about 180 degrees, and it worked out great. So that's a little bit about these pans as a whole. I'm going to kind of get these moved out of the way. You have these hotel pans. You know, what is happening when you put them under vacuum or under pressure, right? Oxygen is being removed. That's first and foremost, right? We want to be able to preserve the quality and the shelf life of our products, okay? So we can safely do that, especially in these pans, you know, up to 30 days. Realistically, I wouldn't want to have food potentially in my cooler for 30 days, but you can store up to 30 days, but it's going to really extend the shelf life. So things like your produce that you're getting in, you don't need to cut it up every day and store it and worry about it breaking down, things as leafy greens. You can get it all chopped up, put in the pans, sealed up, and you're good to go. So you can prep in advance. So also what's happening is we're lowering the pressure inside of these pans. Okay, and what that does is allows for liquids to absorb, which we're going to talk about use cases here in a minute, but it will pull the fibers of meat, pull the fibers of products, and allow liquids to penetrate quickly into those products. Also, when you stretch fibers of meat, it actually tenderizes, right? It breaks down those structural walls. So going right into those use cases, okay? We talk first, mass storage. You can produce all of your food, stack them up, get all of your product done on whatever your prep day is, Monday, Tuesday, rather than doing it multiple times a week, get it all done at once. Have a lot of protein that needs to get cooked, chilled, and stored. Well, rather than cooking and chilling and storing the traditional way, put it under vacuum, and now you can make enough product to last you a couple weeks, and you can cut down on that prep time. Remember, one task, one at a time, that's what's going to help you in the kitchen. It's that repetitive motion of having to do things over and over that's going to cause your labor to go up. So we can also marinate and brine. Like I said, when you reduce that oxygen in the container, it's allowing liquids to go in. So rather than now having to marinate overnight, brine things hours in advance, put it under vacuum, and it will do that same process in a matter of as little as 30 minutes. We've done tests, and it has allowed those liquids to absorb in. You know, go over to YouTube, the Invacus channel. There's a great video I did with bok choy and celery, and it shows in 30 minutes what liquids how quickly they can absorb into products. So go check that video out. We'll put that into the notes as well if you want to see that in action. Again, as I said, it's tenderizing. proteins. It's stretching those cell walls. So it's going to make more tougher cuts of meat a lot more palatable for your guests and your consumers. So you may not have to have the highest quality to achieve the same type of mouthfeel. We can also infuse in pickling, same as that marination brining. We can get that into, things. I need to pickle some red onions real quick. Well, rather than just putting it, the traditional way, throw it under vacuum and boom, in 10 minutes, you've got a quick pickled onion that you need to add to something. We've done giardiniera. We've been able to do that in an hour or two versus that traditional long multi-day process. So those are some of the ways that we can use these GreenVAC pans. So why? Why would you want to invest in something like this? Well, because you can do all that advanced prep. Again, think about labor. That's one of the #1 issues right now in the restaurant industry is having enough people to do the work. So if you can have your team come in on a specific day, get all of your prep done that you need to have done in one day, seal it all up, and then they can work their regular shifts or even shorter shifts throughout the week or reduce your labor down. You want to be able to do that. Some other reasons why you'd want to use this, over bags, products don't get crushed. So think about things such as your pastries that you have to transport. And if you don't have some sort of lid or something on top, they're going to get crushed, right? If multiple hotel pans accidentally get on top of them, you don't have to worry about that in addition to it saving the shelf life. So because you have these lids that go right on top and stack, you don't have to worry about in your coolers separating them. You can literally stack them right on top of each other, okay? Think of weddings, big parties, things that you're doing, again, large production for that you don't want to do over and over. Get enough done for the week. Get your BEOs all lined up. You know what you have to do. Prep it, do it, and then you can store it. So let's do kind of a scenario, okay? Let me move this Cambro unit down. Okay, what I love about it, and again, everyone's got their own transport unit, but this is from personal experience. I can tell you this unit is actually one that I use, and why I loved using it with the GreenVAC system is that I was able to take these pans and lids and as simply as putting them on, even without vacuum, right? I don't have to have them under vacuum. I can still get them into my unit. Oh, once I get the lid on. And I can slide those in still. And because I've got gaskets, I don't have to worry about the water sloshing around or liquids, whatever it is I'm transporting, getting all over. It creates a tight seal, even without vacuum. So again, it's another benefit of having these pans versus your traditional hotel pans, which what are you going to do? You're going to wrap it in foil, you're going to wrap it in plastic wrap. And then what happens? Depending on you hit that bump just right, guess what? Your plastic comes loose, it rips in in your container. Guess what? It's going everywhere. Well, with these pans and the lids on, you don't have to worry about that. So if your items are cooked and chilled and you're just transporting, you can just seal them real quick. They'll slide in and out. Or again, without putting them under any vacuum, I can still slide them in. And this particular unit, I can fit up to 4 pans, fits the same type size as your traditional hotel pan. And I think I can get up to 3 6-inch pans as well. So I want to show you that with the water. I've got a pan already down here with water. We can actually see I've got real water, not a gimmick, real water. Okay, I'm gonna go into my boxer here because I can set it right on top, and we'll get into actually hooking up the hose here in just a minute. But I want to put this on and just do a quick vacuum. Sure, I'm set to external vac. Okay. Okay, and you can see on these units, you can actually see how much it's vacuumed. 92, plenty for me for this example. Kill my vacuum. And now I have a secure thing. You see I've got water. It's not coming out. I'm not getting wet. No matter what your liquid is, you are sealed 100%. Okay, and your product's being safe in storage. So you can be sure that those dishes that you have that have a lot of liquids or product that could spill, you don't have to worry about that. And then again, I can literally take that on the right shelf and I can slide it right into my unit. Now I can safely, securely not have to worry about my product sloshing around. And again, too, from the time you vacuum it, you're sealing in freshness, flavor. You're slowing down that oxygen because it's gone. And so your product's not going to break down. So if you need to get something done early in the morning because there's a lot of parties, get it done early, and then you can vacuum seal it and have it ready to go. And you're sealing in that freshness if it's a very delicate process or product. Now, you get these out, you're off site, and you need to quickly set them up, right? I have just some basic wire, but you got your nice Schaefer dish. Guess what? I can go right out from the Cambro and I can drop right into my water pan. Okay. So let's imagine my 6-inch pan here is my water pan. If I drop it in, I can literally just drop right in. So you could have them and then when I'm ready to use, I love that sound. Unseal it, and then boom, I got my product ready to go, remove my lid. And then when I'm done, right, I don't know how many times I've had this happen to me, is that there's a little bit of product left over. I'm using my transport units to get stuff back to where it needs to go, and it doesn't get wrapped up tight. You're tired, all those things that happen at the end of a party. Well, guess what? My transport unit smells like the food that I've cooked. It gets all over it, the leftovers. Well, again, I can throw my lid back on even without vacuum, and I can still put it in my transport unit, and it's sealed. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to slosh out, and whatever was in there is going to stay in there until I get back to the kitchen so I can get it cleaned. So I absolutely love it for transport functions in any type of your boxes. It's really great to have. And again, even without vacuum, if I push this lid down, even though it's down, it's not going to leak water just from me pressing down. Okay. So it's going to give you better protection coverage than just plastic wrap or tinfoil. Those are some of the big cases. Let's talk about the actual units themselves and go kind of what the options are and how you would actually use the GreenVAC pan system. All right. So first, we're going to start with the Aero unit. Very basic, simple, newer unit. Been out a couple years, and it's got soft air liquid control. And again, all of these have the pump on the back in which your hose can connect right to. So it's as simple as hooking up a hose, going to your external vac, and you hit on, and then it goes. It's that easy. So you can have your pans lined up, and you can literally just go one after the other, stack them up, and go. So it's super fast, super efficient, especially with transport. You don't need a full 99% vacuum. You can seal them up 50, 60%, and boom, take them off with you. So that's the Aero. When you jump up a larger size, you go up to the Boxer series, so 42 or 52. Now, these display panels are the same on the Boxers, the Marlin series, and the Polar units. So if you know how to run this control and you happen to need a larger unit, very easy to switch out. What's great about these units is you have a little bit more flexibility, customization to the unit, where it can do different things inside. On top of the GreenVAC system, has a lot of functionalities that you don't get with the Aero. Aero is a great start unit. If you're just using the GreenVAC system, it's as simple as that to use it. And then I have to show off the Aura. Won the Kitchen Innovations Award this year at the National Restaurant Association show. And this won't be coming out for about a year at least. Don't quote me on the time because I'm not 100% sure. But what's great is it's all really touchscreen. So you can program in products. It has a lot of pre-programmed. So things like fruits and vegetables, I can simply select fruit, vegetable if I want firm or soft, and it will then adjust the vacuum, soft air, other functions inside of it, which is awesome. Or I can have all my favorite programs put in, save them, and it's as simple as touching the screen and it will run those programs. So I just wanted to show it because it's a really cool, innovative piece of equipment that's bringing touchscreen into the vacuum sealing space. And then last but not least, again, we don't have it here, but the Marlin unit is basically a Boxer that's on its own on unit stand. And then the Polar, which is this large guy, which allows you to do large quantities. So let me grab a 2-inch pan. And what you can do is you can see it fits fully underneath. So I can move my whole head down I have it right. And I can seal, right, without the hose. I don't need the hose using this size unit. So I can simply set, what I want, run it down, and it'll vacuum seal without having to use the hose, and I can just go back and forth. So large production, great to quickly seal, especially because of the larger pump in these units. It goes under vacuum quite quick. So those are our different units. I think I've touched on everything. It's not a complex system, right? It's designed to be simple, easy to use, okay? The hardest thing about it all is probably your HACCP. And don't let that scare you, right? If you need resources, if you need support with that, just email us at haccp@invacus.com. We can hook you up with different people in your local areas to help you with those, with the local health authorities, municipalities, because it does vary state to state, location to location. But it's not as scary as you think. Once you get that set and approved, you're off to the races. And the amount of money it's going to save you in the long run, a HACCP plan that costs you maybe $3,000, you're not even going to be thinking about that when you can recoup that in easily a month or two's time, depending on your volume and production, extending your food quality shelf life, being able to transport all these added benefits, reduce your labor. That's what this system is all about. And to be honest, I've been stressing and preaching that, this is the way of the hotel pan. How many times you bend, you break your normal hotel pan? Again, this is 18 gauge steel. Your traditional hotel pans, they're just flimsy. They're not the quality that these pans are. So I know I sound like an infomercial, but I want to, from a chef's perspective, if I had this in my kitchen, the amount of money I could have saved would have been astronomical. So that's everything I've got. Brad, were there any questions? Okay, we're all good. So if you have any questions further on the pieces of equipment, how the GreenVAC pan systems work, shoot us an email or contact your local rep and we can get you more information. Have a great day.